Here are the three-quarter midgets, and there were big names in these. Number 3 was Lucky Foot, a little bit of a mishap there early in the event. 3/4 the size of a midget speed car. You see a restart now. Number 3 was Lucky Foot, just went around the outside. Number 80 is Alan Young, who now resides up in the Northern Territory with a Harley-Davidson powered machine. Onto the big speed cars now. Bruce Rickard in number 8. His machine is wheeled out. And in car number 23, the great Jimmy Davies from the United States of America. Comes through under Dean Hogarth. Gordon Schubert, alias Joe Blow, in car number 99, leads them around to the start of this event. Now watch beneath them. Nowhere near it at the start. They'd all piled up in front of him and power straight into the crowd he went. A crowd of cars, of course. Joe fenced his anger. It was only a bit of a wheel alignment, Joe, and a restart now without Benithan and Joe Blow. Bruce Rickard is there jostling for a good position and a good run. And Dean Hogarth, car number 9 at the rear. Stock cars, and excuse me, says Mo Daniels. Whoops! He was in the yellow car. Glenn Smith in car 2, the red, white and blue car. 8 cylinders of Oldsmobile rocket power. Ross Hill is also there in car 55. There's Smith's car 2. But Max Morton leads them around in car 72. There's a little bit of a nudge there for Max. Ross Hill featured very strongly here. Oh, sorry, Clem, you're in the way. There's a wheel problem. Oh, where's your wheelie bin? Oh, I'm sorry, what a flipper. Stand me up, give me a push and let me go on. More grain in some of that than a chookful of it. There's Jimmy Davies in car 23. Such a smooth driver with Jim. He had a lightweight car and it took a lot of catching up. Speaking with Kim Benithan, he gives Jim Davies as the number 1 driver vote for those who came out of the United States. And they're often racing. Very great following speed cars. Max Monk in 21 positioned quite well at the early part of this event. They're settling down now, and Joe Blow's leading the way, but Jimmy Davies is behind him and will very soon pass underneath, which we miss out of the camera a wee bit there. But Joe holding a great line in his car number 99. And second place, Jimmy Davies. Kim Benithan raced in this event in car number 1 and in fact came in second place. This was quite an important race. At this stage, Jim had already taken over the front running, and there he is about to receive his sash for first place in that championship event. And here come the judge. Oh, sorry, wrong program. Here come the Super Moddies. And a wee flip. Heads or tails. Somebody tripped. How embarrassing. We tried to hide that number 20, but it just popped out. Not too good for Malcolm Somerville either, because he's on the hook with car number 30. We see Jeff Harris in number 19 circulating very well. And oh, that's a shortcut. You got to catch up with them on the other side, you know. They'll come out there. Zeke Agars in the little low car that didn't have a wing. In fact, I think Zeke was the last one ever to put a wing on a speed car. Speed cars now, and there's number 65, and Ron Burns having a drive. Until I saw this film, I didn't even know that he drove that car. 50 was Dud Lambert, and here's Bruce Rickard again in car number 8. And right behind this one, whose number they won't show us, is number 1, Kim Benithan, the boss. And Jim Davies, number 23. Kim got a lot of satisfaction out of importing Jimmy Davies from the States. Here's Dud Lambert, first one to be pushed away, and he'd stayed down on the pole as long as he possibly could. You've got to go around me to beat me. 23 is Jim Davies going under Dean Hogarth's car number 9. Bad luck, mate, you can't restart that. Your run is done. Jim Davies going through the field. No, that's Ron Tolman there in car number 29, another American that came out. And here now is Jim Davies coming over for the presentation. Thanks, Pete. You line them up. There's Jack Self on the left, the tall, thin man in the dark glasses. Oh, it's great to be out here, says Jimmy Davies. I hope you'll have me back here again someday. There's the boss. There's Kim. Look at those flashing eyes on the young fellow. Here's Phil Hareen's car now being pushed in the pit area. On the right is Laurie Robertson. Sorry, on the left is Laurie Robertson. And on the extreme left is Phil's brother Brian Hareen. There's Laurie on the right, and Brian over on this side as Phil is pushed out towards the trackside and lining up in front of the push car. And away goes car number 97. That was the Les March Nissan that Phil drove to so many successes. The black car going around the outside now in the very skillful hands of our own Phil Hareen. One of the main attractions at Rowley Park was speed cars. A lot of the ghouls went along just to see the accidents, of course. Now grabs that handle. This is a bit of naughty 40-year-old plus grainy film. But when you think that it is 40 years old, what a great bit of stuff it is. The times of the aerofoils or wings on top of the cars, and as I said earlier, all but Zeke Agars. We've still got very good results with the wingless car. One wonders whether 640 yards really was a great distance to use a wing. The purple flash there is, of course, suddenly 88, the great Bill Wigsell. And what a rocket ship that was. Also, what a handful. But he made it look like a real pussycat. Beautifully controlled slides by most of these top drivers. Great purple car, a roar from its exhaust. It was a very purposeful built car. Ian Teal used to look after it for Kev Fisher, the owner of the vehicle, and it was always driven to perfection by Bill Wigsell. I suppose they drew more people than any other section at the park, the Super Moddies. A few years after that, they carried enormous aerofoils on top of them, the same as the speed cars. Now we see here a group of saloon cars, hardly enough room for them to fit around the track, and about the same era as that last sidecar event and the Super Mods. Several drivers from other sections went into saloon cars. In this brighter part here, I'd like you to look behind car number 85, but hiding in behind there is a little Mini. Car number 66 it was, the Motor Lab entry, and he decides to park it in the fence right there. It was only a little car, but it took a lot of straightening out. A poor little thing. So the race went on again after that. All they had to do was clear the track of the debris and carry on with the remainder of the event. And then we go to speed cars. This was the Butcher's Picnic, which was held every Friday night, and it was run for those cars still surviving after a heavy night's racing. If you were mobile at the end of the night, you got a start. Car 26, one that was lucky in this event to get a run. This was run over 20 laps, and it was quite an enduring race. With cars like Joe Brandler, drivers like Joe Brandler, and number 17, Graham Driscoll, comes to mind as one of the competitors in these events. Now that was the first American super-modified car that was ever imported to Australia, and it was driven by Bill Wigsell. As again we see the big star, Joe Blow. My gosh, it's going to cost you plenty, Joe. Ready to push off one of the super moddies. And you'll see the great Marshal Sergeant here, as you can just see the little car there. Number 7, you'll see him come around again. There's Ray Skipper in 25, one of the leading moddy drivers at most tracks around South Australia and some interstate tracks. Here's the great Marshal Sergeant in car number 7. Notice they go in the other direction. Everything was okay till the American came out.